It killed me. It figures. But at least you found me. Now, Roundhouse, on the other hand, may take him a few minutes, hours, days, weeks. Depends where his ship is. Oh, yeah. Wow, you were fast. I got lost. Actually, StreamYards got lost. Yeah, I just saw he popped up. That's only because I had a doctor's appointment today, and I have 4 extra holes in my body. I got biopsies for neuropathy and nerve conduction. So I'm poked full of holes. Okay. I can't. Okay, hang on, guys. I'm going back and forth. Oh boy, this is so much fun. I'm going to get so confused. Okay, I'm back. I'm here. I'm alive. Yay! Yes, actually, I sort of do feel like Swiss cheese. I have a hole about on the side of my leg, about 4 inches down, and about 8 inches down. And I'm going to have to look up how they do a nerve test from a punch biopsy, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, well, he gave me she gave me lidocaine. Um, so it didn't hurt when she did it. It's a little bit sore now, but you should have seen Leo's eyes when she pulled out that needle. He watched every single move she made, and she's a really cool doctor. She explained everything she was doing to him, and the fact that she wasn't going to hurt mommy. She's a great doctor. I wish she was like a doctor of everything. And then we went to a thrift store and I made a killer buy. Only I haven't figured out which tank I'm going to use it as a background. It is the coolest shower curtain, and it will make a perfect background. And let's see what else. Oh, I can't remember. I was just like totally starving because I didn't eat anything. So got some sushi, and then later we're having fish and chips. Not platies though. I put some salt in. I mean, all the fries seem to be doing okay. Um, I think what I'm going to do is I have a tank that's I just really cleaned out well. I think it just had dirt and stuff in it, and I'm going to set it all up Hey, Leo would love to vote. He's very opinionated. Um, hey, there's my long, thin electric blue ram. I guess I just like tails like that. My, I think that I have two male Brichardies and a female because two have long rear tails and the other one just has like a regular tail. So the two long tails decided to beat up on the one that had a regular tail. So I put the regular tail in with the polar blue parrots, and it's having a wonderful time. It's following the Honduran red point around. And it's like, don't you know what your own species is? Obviously, it doesn't. Oh man, I have seen so many ads recently on get your emotional support animal certified today. And it's like just a total scam. You'll be able to take it into restaurants, onto planes, into this. It's all a bunch of crap. You can't do that. Oh, and Roundhouse today was a very exciting time in the cop watching world. I actually left at like 5 minutes to 11 at to go to the doctor, and at about 11:05, Albuquerque audits got arrested at the Albuquerque Public School office. Something about cussing and yelling and screaming, and I perfectly believe it. And usually he's really pretty calm, but I guess lately he's kind of like, I don't know, not been so calm. And some guy named Good Citizen Media or Media Good Citizen or Good Media Citizen, something like that, made the mistake of going to Walsenburg, where I used to live. And actually, the backyard he was in at one point after they released him looked like my old backyard. But anyway, he was filming something, and this old man came out of the house, and something happened. The old man went back in, came out with a gun, threatened to blow his head off. So he called the sheriff, which was like really a bad mistake to call the Orfano County sheriffs in Walsenburg. And then they called the state police. But he has a summons, and he's going like, oh yeah, this is going to be so easy to get off of. And I'm pretty sure the guy that had the gun is an ex-FBI agent, and he's crooked as the rest of the sheriffs. And this guy just doesn't realize he's not going to win. I seriously doubt he's going to win. Unless he gets the state police as witnesses or something. And I forgot what they gave him the ticket for. I think it was cussing and making obscene gestures. Which, yeah. In a normal place would be a First Amendment freedom of speech thing, but not in Walsenburg. I couldn't believe it. It was like some jerk finally went to Walsenburg. We may never see him again after he goes to court. I was actually kind of waiting for somebody to do it. So you guys should just come up here so we can all talk. Except for the fact that I'm sure you're both playing games. And I'm just like making lots of, I see you. It's good. It's not that yucky looking ship. That camo ship was really gross. I'm.
I was
Did you
eating.
uh, did you make that camo ship go away or give it a new paint job?
Why?
Because that camo one that was ugly.
No, that's a sexy ass camo on a Navy ship. It's a whole lot better than everything else they used. The other stuff that they used, it looked like someone puked it up.
Mm. It would be cool to be able to do your own skins.
That's what this is. I made that.
Oh, no, not
This is
this one.
which one are you talking about then?
You had a camo that was like 3 different colors.
Oh yeah, that's the Italian one. That's the stock Italian one.
Oh, that was yucky. No, I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, that was that camo won an award. One. It was a drawing that you picked which camo would be good, and for some reason they picked that one.
Okay, well, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
ugly.
it's like, well, my first thought was, you have better taste than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a permanent camo though. Instead of
uh,
buying a camo each time I go into a battle, I put that one on, and that's what everyone else sees. But I see something different because the camo mods that I do are for local only. They don't transmit, which is sucks.
yeah, that does suck.
But I guess that could be for safety reasons because they don't put the swastika on the Bismarck,
Uh,
and that would be the first thing I do. Not because not because of Nazi or anything, but because that's what the ship had.
but, yeah. Did you
It,
know
it,
that Pancho Villa's great grandfather was Jewish?
no, I did not.
I just found that out today.
This ship is the USS Oklahoma, the Nevada class
Yes.
battleship that was on the north side of Ford Island, and it was torpedoed in shallow water, and it rolled over onto itself.
Oh,
It died worse. It actually had more damage than the Arizona.
oh my God.
Everything above the deck it crushed.
Well, yeah. That's sad.
And it's still sitting there. I think it's still sitting there.
Well, then
No,
it's a
maybe it's
good
the
thing
Utah
now.
that's still sitting there. There out of the multitude ships that sunk, three of them or two of them are still there. No, they might have righted this one and scrapped it. It might be the Utah I'm thinking of.
I remember going fishing in the Bay Area by the mothball fleet.
Hmm.
You
Which
could
we don't
get,
have anymore.
yeah, big sturgeon. But it was sort of sad to see all those ships just kind of sitting there, their paint flaking. It's like, take care of them. That's what you can put homeless people to do, work to do.
Yeah, it all costs money though. They don't need it. They don't need
Oh,
to take care of them, because as soon as they pull them on a mothball, they do a refit on them anyway to bring them
yeah.
up to new standards. So they dry dock it and work on the ship. So
Aaron, let's see. What else has been going on? Um, 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 well, I lost one of my, I think it was just one of the 16 tests. No, it was something else. Which one was it? Now that's a good question. Now I'm going to have to find out. The dogs ate one of my test strip bottles, but the test strips inside are still fine. I just don't have a code for them. But I can stick them in the water and watch them change color. Or not. But I'm getting
I still like this one
frustrated.
better.
Oh, now that's cool.
That's the Ranger.
Can you fly the planes off of it?
Yep.
Okay, that's really cool.
In fact, on carriers, you're not in the ship. You autopilot the ship and you fly the planes.
Oh, that's cool. Well, if I ever get unfrustrated from moving everything around, my brain can wrap around playing the game.
Well,
I'm
it
just
starts
like,
off at tier 1 anyway. This is a tier 6 ship. The Ranger's a tier 6 ship.
well, I know I have to go far. And you guys would just like cream me.
And the Oklahoma's a tier 5. Although I mean, even as curiosity, with the right person behind a tier 1 ship, they can do some damage.
Yeah, but I'm not Adele.
I know. Adele was in what were you in? A tier 2 or 3 ship? Because they were saying that the Erie, they didn't like the Erie. It's not good. And I'm like, I'll show you how good the Erie is.
Yeah, well, I mean, almost anything can be good depending on how it's run. I mean, a lousy captain can sink the best ship.
2? I think you were in a 2. And 44 was in a 2. And
Ah,
I scored
okay.
above both of them in that game. Just to prove a point.
Sometimes when I go into the thrift store, there's things I just have to buy. And we went
Yeah,
into Savers, and there just wasn't anything that said
yeah, but
mine.
this is my own personal camo for my personal game.
I like that.
The one I released to the general public, it's more of a brownish deck, or like a grayish deck.
That would
I
work.
ch- I chopped the deck picture. I chopped off of another model and put it on the stock model, and that's what I use for my personal is the stock model with the chopped deck, and then I made the camo. And then I cleaned the hull too, which is why they look so good. They don't have rust and stuff on them.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you don't have to have rust on your ship if you take care of it. Hey, Chewy. Um, okay, here's two things for you to look up. Um, the first one is a Primo Net. Hello, Harrison Tropicals. Premonette. And the other one is an NO2A Pocket Brownie. And then since we have more people, everybody can come in and tell a fish story.
I have a number 2A. Well, maybe not a Browning. I think it's a Kodak.
No, Kodak makes the brownie.
Oh, yeah. I think I have one of
Anyway,
those.
I figured for $2.50 a piece, it was worth it.
250?
$2.50.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna say 250. That's a ripoff.
Oh yeah.
They're like
Well,
honestly,
I
they're
have
like $50-$60 cameras.
Hey, Danny. Yeah, well, I haven't figured. I think that the brownie is jammed. I haven't gotten it open yet, but my I didn't want to do it when I'm in pain, so because if I couldn't open it, I'd get mad at it. And it may just need a little bit of oil and stuff on the hinges, but the leather's in pretty decent condition and stuff. The on the pimento or whatever it is, that needs the permanent, that needs the leather replace for the baffle thing. Who's Leo? Leo's my service dog. He's a dog in my picture. And we're watching out for him because, well, he's got his own channel. And as soon as mom feels better, he's going to go do handicapped auditing and make sure, like we went, where did we go today? Oh, of all places, Goodwill. Who hired the handicap? They have no button to open their door. No sliding door. No opening door. So, by myself, I couldn't get into the store. So, we're going to go do audits, and libraries hate service dogs. So, we're going to go to different libraries. So, Leo's going to become a hero for the disabled. Besides, he likes going out. And he is a certified service dog, which really doesn't exist, but he's been trained. I have my doctor's note, which I don't have to show, and we're going to teach people. The link is pinned at the top. Fish Kid Genius. Oh, we'll have to check out your merchandise. I was actually listening to Big Tank Hank's guests, and he has, I guess it's on Friday or Saturday. Anyway, he has Adele. He's doing a Python people. I think he's trying to convince his wife to let him have a snake. And now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh,
Must have been a lie.
no, just pain. I just got like the love from the dog, and my leg went, no. I don't know if we're exactly on the other side of the world. I'd have to look at my globe, but it's so covered with dust. And I didn't get to see the eclipse because it was too smoky. And I guess, like, it's really burning. And they're evacuating more and more. And more. So let's see. My fish story of the day. That moss See, my brain is really fried tonight. Moss. Hair moss. Okay, someone help. Roundhouse, help.
Help with what?
The hairy moss. What is it called? Hair
I don't
moss.
know. I don't know anything about moss.
It's a pest moss.
Mm,
Hair
couldn't help
algae.
you. Sorry. Oh,
Hair
hair
algae.
algae.
Yeah.
That's not
Okay.
moss. That's algae.
Yeah. So, I have a lot of it. Yeah. Hair algae. I have a lot of it in the tank that has the golden algae eater and the 5-star. So I decided to clean it all out because I'm cleaning all the tanks and stuff and redoing the ones that I'm moving. And I found the poor little Turkana. He got caught in the hair algae, and somehow the hair algae was out of water, and he was a very dry little fish.
That sucks. Stupid hair algae.
Yeah. So I'm taking out the last 2 decorations tomorrow, and I'm going to like boil the algae away. But other than that, everybody else is happy. The little platy fry are doing great. And out of the, I really should have counted them, between 40 and 60 cichlid fry I have 2 definite orange tinted OBs. It looks like I have a lot of OBs, but 2 of them have already have really bright orange on them, which bodes well. So I'll just have to keep growing them out. And other than that, I'm just impatient to get everything moved. I think I might insult everybody and just hire somebody to come over for 15 minutes and move the tape. I'm getting tired of waiting for, oh, I'll help you. I'd really like somebody sort of fish knowledgeable to come over and help me go through all my fish stuff. I don't understand how I got so much fish stuff, except I do know of 4 times that I've gotten tanks that came with lots of accoutrements. So I have to go through and, I'm tossing outdated prime and that kind of stuff, and filters that don't work. I have more fish stuff. I think I could fill the 150-gallon tank. No, I could more than fill the 150-gallon tank. I mean, we have a food stash cabinet in my bathroom, and I'm seriously thinking of figuring out where else we could stash the food so I could fill it with fish stuff. I know, but I think it multiplies. I mean, I think my fish stuff is breeding more than my fish. And I do have 2 cichlids which are holding, but there's absolutely nothing in the tank but the fish. So I don't give their fry much of a chance unless I get things moved and set up fairly fast, because I'm not setting up a tank just for a fry. I mean, I have the 60 to 40 fry that are, I don't know, 6 months old or something as it is. So, does anybody know what I can put blue acaras in with?
Or South Americans. Fire mounts.
Okay,
Heck,
so
I
I'm
mean,
missing
honestly, I
blue
think you can put
acara.
them in with Malawi too, like Malawi cichlids.
That'd be interesting. Except, well,
I'm
they're
I'm
bigger
pretty
than
sure they'll be able to hold their
Malawi's.
own.
Yeah, I hope that golden mambuna, when it gets old enough to breed, breeds and passes its color on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty. I mean, it's a mangano with a gold bottom,
A gold butt or a gold underside?
gold underside.
Okay.
And I thought it was something cool, but it's a real fish. It's like, where did this come from? Well, I don't know where it came from, except maybe one of the manganos I had must have had golden mambuna in it, and somehow it came out.
Hmm.
That's a good definition. Well, right now, because I'm moving tanks around, I mean, all this stuff, well, except for the filter media and the one sponge filter that goes in the 150 and a couple extra sponge filters, those are in tanks. So they keep being seeded. Um, but right now I have all the the fake plants are out, the rocks are out, a couple huge pieces of driftwood are out. So there's stuff that should be in tanks. It's just not in tanks. Yeah, that's true because I just got when I got the 36-gallon bow front, I got 2 milk crates full of stuff and 3 desk-size garbage cans full of gravel. I got more stuff than would fit into the tank. Oh, and the canister filter, 2 UV filters, which all need to be cleaned. Oh, now I like that chip.
Yep.
I guess I actually should be like sorting stuff or cleaning out the canister filters, and trying to figure out how to make them work.
Get rid of them and go to sponges. It's so much better. So much easier.
Yeah, I know, and I have I found it. I'm losing things, but I'm finding things. One piece at a time. One thing at a time. And I found 50 feet of black silicon airline tubing. And this is it just says air compressor.
Okay.
32 watt. But this is what the guy gave me that he used for his air tubing. AS, yeah, I have mostly sponge filters, but I don't know, like with the Oscar tank and the cichlid tank, which is one of those like overstocked tanks. um, I don't know if a sponge filter would like totally do it.
I have two Pro 5 sponge filters in my 55, and it does my Manganos fine. Same thing with the daffodils. Does that fine too. Same thing with the angels.
Well, maybe I'll get some bigger. Yeah, I did a water change right before I came on. Um,
I buy the ATI Pro Series. It's a coarser sponge.
yeah, like the aquarium co-op.
Yeah, no. I want to honestly. I think Aquarium Co-op is a pretty much a ripoff of ATI.
Okay.
I know ATI was around for ever.
Okay.
Aquarium Co-op not.
Yeah. Let's
And
see.
I've looked at them. They pretty much the same damn thing. I don't see any difference
Okay, I will write it
except
down.
except the color is green instead of it's like a whitish tan on the ATI.
ATI.
Yeah, they got them at Ken's Fish. You know Ken's Fish,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh, that'll be good
Filters.
because I have to buy more fish food. Oh, those roseline sharks are cool looking. I have to
Filters,
buy.
internal filters, ATI sponge.
Okay, because I have to buy another round of fish food at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that too soon.
Well, you always have to clean no matter what you have. Um, I've gotten two flugels, a marine land, and something else that I don't know what it is. I've gotten, um, I get the regular flakes S because I mix up stuff for my fish. So I get like 5 or 6 different flakes and the pellets. Or is it the pellets? No, the sticks. And then I make different combinations for the different fish. Like the cichlids get one, the Oscars get more, get mealworms and bugs, and of course bigger pellets. Um, the polar blues get little stuff, or more ground up, I should say. But I think I just get the basic flakes because everybody eats those. Besides, it's more fun to make your own. I'm about ready to make my own rat food. I could only find one rat food, not a formula rat food pellet, but only one mixed food. I probably get the intense because, like, I go in the middle of the stuff he gets. Yeah, well, those spirulina, everybody likes that. It's good for people too. I don't know about eating. Well, no, I would eat fish food. So, um,
Oh, you stupid dog. I was just up.
well, that's why he has to go to the bathroom now.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Get your ass moving. Go.
Hey, GRB. Yeah, I'm doing well, except for I have 4 holes in my leg. So sometimes tonight, like when the dog hits my leg, I kind of space because it hurts. Um, yeah, all the rat foods have peanuts in them, and I'm allergic to peanuts. So I actually read the label twice of the PetSmart brand, how house rat food, and sponges from Flukel. See, I have an FX4, but all 4 of my canisters were free. I just can't seem to get them to work. It's probably because they're smarter than I am. And somebody said I had to make sure that both hoses were full of water. I've replaced O-rings and that kind of stuff. Um, I don't actually even know what's in them anymore. It's been so long since I've opened them. They probably have water in them. Probably should clean them out now that it's summer. I could go outside and not freeze. I sort of like the extra.
Swear to God, I'm gonna make slippers out of that dog.
Oh, you will not. You love it, and you know it.
Maybe a hat.
Well, if he sheds enough, you can make a hat. It could be interesting.
Yeah,
Except just never take it in the rain.
yeah. It would stink.
Yeah, you smell like a wet dog. But yeah, I cut question of the day. No, I do not have any ceramic mermaids in an aquarium. I almost bought a marble Kleenex box today for a fish hide, but I didn't. I have enough marble that I could probably glue some together. I mean, I have enough tile. I could tile my entire house. And let's see, I'm going to have dinosaurs in one of the tanks, but I don't know which. And I have a glow in the dark skeleton that's going to go in one and kind of float around. Well, I'll keep an eye out for an old ceramic mermaid. Um, yeah, I thought it would be a good fry hide, but I just, I don't know, it didn't call to me. It was sort of, I don't know, I have marble that's prettier. Oh, now, a ceramic toothbrush holder. That's a good fry hide because of the little holes.
She said little holes.
Oh, shut up. I went up and down the aisles at the thrift store today looking at things that I could repurpose. And it was sort of like, I don't know, maybe because the lidocaine was starting to wear off, I was sort of starting to space that, and I was hungry. Hey, 44. Remember, everybody, the link is pinned at the top. I can't have all the cool fish stories. I think the only ones that you'll find today, June, would be the like Little mermaids. Oh, I have a cool mermaid, but I don't know about putting it in a fish tank because it's the copy of the Mermaid on the Rock in Copenhagen. I think it's in Copenhagen, and I think it's probably copper. But that would look cool. I guess I could polyurethane it, but yes, I'm working with. I guess it's engineering. I'm figuring out how that would defeat the purpose. It's like I go look at the toy section to see if there's any cool toys to put in my fish tank. I have lots of cool toys, but none of them.
Heck, if it doesn't have water in it, it's not an aquarium. It's a
Yeah.
terrarium.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I have to write this down, and I have no paper. Okay, I have paper, but I don't know where it is. There it is. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna get something I want, I bet. Probably not, because he's not talking to me. I don't. Well, yeah, I guess it does have some drips from the portholes and stuff. I like that ship though.
What, this one?
Yeah.
This is a St. Louis in Great White Fleet paint job. This is what all of our ships were painted like back in like 1900 something. When we did the Great White Fleet tour. When we did the Great White Fleet tour.
You're very not loud.
Just a sec.
Better.
Just a sec, okay? Just a sec, okay?
I don't hear any echo. Oh wait. Am I echoing?
I was.
Damn it, lunatic, what the hell?
Well, I'll look and see. I have a little bit of almost everything. I have to start making things go away. Well, except animals and fish. Oh no, my fish are cohabitating.
Isn't that illegal?
I think so. Well, I topped off the tank we're looking at, and there's a couple of cories on the bottom that are dancing away.
Look at
Let's.
look at what I have posted behind. Do not share because there is copyright infringement if you share it. But
Okay.
I have a date coming up with that mermaid.
Well, we definitely need some ocean activism. There's some. I just can't believe all the. Well, I can, but I mean, all the garbage.
Oh yeah, there's like a continent of garbage in the middle of the Pacific.
Uh-oh. The cat's just knocked over something big. I hate those noises. But with us, it's usually the dogs getting something out of the kitchen sink. Yum, yum, yum.
Yep. See, only Oscars. That damn cat. Cats are bad and coy. They're the devil.
You do know the myth of the mermaid's kiss, do you not?
No.
No,
You don't?
I didn't give a. I don't really care about mermaids because they're not real.
Just as per how you take them. If you look at the definition of mermaid, is of the sea, servant of the sea. Are we not all? Are we not all mermaids?
Nope. I'm just visiting your fair planet.
Yeah. Okay. The girl helped stop shark fin soup.
They're not cats, they're rats. My rats won't rat on anybody.
Anyway, I gotta get back to work.
Where? What's that?
Have fun.
That you have to do.
Yeah, don't work too hard.
As a volunteer or as an employee.
Thank you for dropping by.
Oh, I'll still be in chat. I just
Oh, okay. But you're
can't
gonna be doing
have
stuff.
audio or video.
Okay. So speaking of cats, GRB, how's your kitty?
Oh, geez, you're always eating collaboration.
Oh, speaking of eating, you can make dinner. Okay. Fish and chips, heavy on the platties. No, I wouldn't eat them.
They're not filling enough.
No, it'd be like eating guppies. There's nothing there.
The cichlids, now, on the other hand.
Well, the biggest fish I have right now are the Oscars, but I've never eaten my Oscars.
Oh, my manganos, the bigger ones are pushing 8 inches.
God, mine are all shrimps. Mine are like 4 inches.
Yep.
Here
Hey,
today,
bro.
not,
Hey,
not
man.
Yo,
strong.
44. What up?
Yeah,
Awesome to hear.
not much. Just got off warships.
I'm all pissy. They're coming out with a new model for Oklahoma on Wednesday morning.
Hmm.
They better not change it that much. I don't want to have to redo a camo.
Yeah.
Like nothing's wrong with Oklahoma. Why are you fixing it? It ain't broke.
Because it's something for them to do.
They don't have to do anything.
Should be like, but I already fixed it.
What they need to do is come out with a new model of Wyoming, so it works like every other ship in the game.
Hmm.
You know, for
Ah.
like, let's see, about probably about 8 years. No, less than 8 years. 6 years. When I wanted to divorce my ex, my mother would say to me, a fat woman with 4 kids will never find anybody else. Which was a lie,
Hey,
and I'm
CSA.
not even fat. I'm Rubenesque.
Rubenesque.
In other words, I have boobs and a butt.
Ah.
Okay then. I think most people. I think most all females have boobs and a butt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
But
think.
some
I
of
don't. I
them
don't
are
think I know anyone that doesn't.
like peach pits. It's like, if you're gonna have a woman, you should have a woman who's curvy. Someone you can like snuggle into. Okay, I'm opinionated.
Anything more than a handful, you sprain your thumb.
So who's Leo?
Leo's my service dog.
The dog.
Oh, okay.
Leo is going to be doing disability audits. Things like libraries hate dogs. They even hate service dogs. I did my first one, only my camera didn't film it. I was so mad too. I went to the motor vehicle department to find out how much it's going to cost to transfer the title for the semi-trailer. They were awesome. They were nice. And when I was leaving, one of the ladies even came out from the back to open the door for me, because since it's appointment only, they have the doors locked and that it negates the handicap push button. So she came out and opened the door for Leo and I. And I was like, okay, now that's passing an audit.
That's also highly illegal.
What?
There's a reason why they have those buttons there, because it's a law.
Well, yeah, true. But, COVID negates the laws.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, it shouldn't. I'll have to look into that. I mean, the push bar from the inside still works when the door is locked.
It doesn't, but the government says it can. So.
Yeah.
No, then I can rob a bank.
Well, actually, when
According
I
to their
was
logic,
Yep.
when I was on the Greyhound
That's the only kind that
bus,
matters.
there was an old lady that they made me sit next to with my Great Dane service dog, who spent the first hour bitching and complaining. We were in the third seat back, to the driver, that she was being forced to sit with a dirty cur. And at the first stop, he moved her. Um, which I always thought was cool. Because, like, don't move the person who's not doing anything. Move the person who's bitching and complaining. But yeah, if even taking a service dog into a library, I've been confronted. Um, so it's kind of a way to get out. I would say 90% of the service animals I've met aren't real. And it's like when I talk to people, it's like, wow, your dog is so well behaved. I mean, you're standing in line and he sat down. You know, he's not messing with anything. He's not making noise. He's being so good. And it's like, well, I hate putting it this way, but he is a real service dog. I mean, it took a lot of training.
Yeah, it does. A lot of training for a dog. You got to do it young.
Well, and you have to, even the things that he doesn't do right now, you still have to keep up the training or use it or lose it.
Yeah. I guess on the roster, there are people out there who hate dogs.
Yeah, the only thing I have not been able to teach him, and the trainer I have said it may be just him, is he doesn't like to pick up my keys. I can put biscuits on him, and he will figure out how to get the biscuit away from the keys, and just drop the keys and take off with the biscuit. And, I'm not gonna I guess I have a lot of extra keys. I could probably slime cheese or something on the extra keys and teach him that way. But
he'll end up eating them.
yeah, that was sort of my fear.
What you need to do is attach a rope or something to it. So he's not grabbing the keys themselves, he's grabbing the rope.
Grabbing the rope, yeah. Well, I did start with a small stuffed toy, but somebody else chewed it up.
Yeah, but you'd literally just leave the rope on the keychain.
Yeah.
So he could grab it whenever,
Yeah, maybe I should try that.
Kind of like those rope toys. Something like that.
Those rope toys are dangerous.
No, they're not.
No, actually, they've banned emotional support animals from airplanes now. And there are actually, if you look up the ADA,
emotional support animals are different from service dogs.
Yeah,
they can't go into restaurants. I think the only thing that you may get is being able to have them at an apartment.
A service dog is licensed and all that.
Well, no, they aren't. The only federal law for having a service dog is you must have on your person a note, prescription from your doctor that says that you need the service dog, which is trained for, and Leo says mobility. We're working on diabetes training. Since I'm taking my blood sugar now all the time, and I knew it was really low. Leo is not a licker, and he licked my face this afternoon.
That's the sound of the chair.
They sniff your breath to tell whether you have high or low blood sugar. And he got real licky. And I know that it wasn't high. I know it was low because I hadn't eaten anything. No, I think that's federal laws.
Illinois has a license.
I don't know. I thought they had.
The only dog I know that's actually a true service dog is for blind people. Everything else is emotional support.
No, there's mobility dogs, hearing dogs,
Oh yeah, hearing dogs.
um,
I forgot about those.
dogs for people in wheelchairs.
Yeah, but the whole I get anxious if I don't have the dog with me. Yeah, that's not a service dog. That's an emotional support dog. At least
Yes.
in Illinois.
Okay, 2010 they revised requirements. A dog that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for a person with a disability. All areas must permit all areas where members of the public are allowed to go. Guiding people who are blind, alerting people who are deaf, pulling a wheelchair, alerting and protecting a person who's having a seizure, reminding a person with mental illness to take prescribed medication, calming a person with post-traumatic stress disorder, working animals, not pets, dog whose sole function is to provide comfort or emotional support do not qualify.
Yeah, well, that's what the PTSD dog is, though.
But to legally have it, you have to have
Everyone has PTSD.
No, you
Yes.
have to have you have to have a letter from your doctor. Staff can only ask 2 questions. Is a dog a service animal required because of a disability? And what work or task has a dog been trained to perform?
Huh.
They cannot ask you about your disability, medical documentation. So I guess they've even trained it. Can't be asked to remove your service animal unless the dog is out of control or not housebroken. Must allow service animals in public areas of food service, even if state or local health codes prohibit animals on the premises. A business requires a deposit or fee. It must waive the charge for service animals.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. This is my emotional support cigarette. I gotta smoke it in the restaurant while I eat.
Oh, that sounds really good
Yes.
to me.
It helps with my PTSD.
Yes, emotional support cigars.
I grew up on this. I grew up on Earth.
That's yeah. Well, Leo definitely has a food drive. And they do not have to wear a vest.
Yeah, see, in Illinois, they got to wear a vest. Or at least they're supposed to.
Well, every service dog I've seen is wearing some type of vest.
Yeah.
Well,
because you're not supposed to go up and pet them is what it is. That vest is a clue of not going up and just petting a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, it doesn't stop little kids. And like, Leo is trained that if somebody asks to pet him and I say friend, then he knows it's okay for him to be pet by somebody else. But if somebody just comes at him to pet him, he usually tries to go like behind me. Um, well, I hope they're really working on a. Most of the PTSD information seems to deal with veterans and first responders.
I'm gonna have a service bear.
I think they pretty much
Adele,
made it.
because they can get a service kangaroo,
No, a service koala.
a service koala. Yeah, there you go.
It'll protect you because of its claws.
Hmm.
I want a service panda.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, they are like the dumbest animals on the planet.
You actually can have miniature horses.
What?
Yeah, they
Miniature
have
horses.
miniature horses.
I knew they had miniature horses. I didn't know you could have them as service dogs.
Well, you can't. You can have it as an emotional support animal, but not as a service dog.
Okay,
The
that
only
makes
the only animal that I know of that's okayed for service use is dogs.
It's just funny walking to a place with a pony. You're like,
Because they're better than cats.
This is my service pony.
This is my service orangutan. Better watch out. It might rip your face off.
Yeah. Service gorilla. Service chimpanzee.
This is my service grayback. His name's Bongo.
Yeah. Dogs and cats supposed to have their pros and cons.
A lot of cons with cats. The only con with a dog is they're a pain in the ass. You always got to get up.
Now, this is interesting. If it is not feasible to provide physical access to a historic property in a manner that will not threaten or destroy the historic significance of the building or facility, alternative methods of access shall be provided. But how would you provide an alternative method if you can't, like, put a ramp in or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
You would build a ramp to the outside of the building and open up a window.
Hey!
Into a door.
Hey, Northern Corruption Monitor!
What that's for is like, old buildings with staircases. The concrete staircases. Obviously, they're not going to destroy the historical concrete staircase or stone staircase or whatever. They would maybe build a ramp and cut a hole in the wall, something that they could repair, versus trying to widen the stairs, which would never be able to be fixed.
Yeah. Okay, Chewy. I was at Walmart, and because of COVID, they don't have any seats or benches, and I just could not stand anymore. So I sat down on the floor, and they had just waxed it, and it was so slippery, I couldn't get up. So Leo started barking for help, which is what he's been trained to do. If I'm down on the ground and I can't get up. He barks for assistance. So the manager came over and said, "Your dog is making too much noise. You have to leave." And I said, "No, my dog is a service dog and I can't get up because the floor is too slippery. So he is calling to try and get help." And the manager looked at me and said, "Oh, okay," and walked about 8 feet away and then turned and said, "Oh, do you need help getting up?"
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There's your sign.
So he actually called one of the box boys to help me up. And it was
Really?
like, yeah.
I would call that company and be like, the dude wouldn't even help me. He had to call someone else to help me. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, that's grounds for suing right there.
Yeah.
No one's giving you a fridge magnet? Oh. Yeah. Leo's kind of afraid of cats. I mean, he's really curious until they hiss. And then, even though my mom's cat has no claws, he's still afraid when they start with the claws, he's batting. Because when he was a puppy, my mom's cat would chase him around the living room and hit him. Smart dog, smart dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you just got to be careful what state you go into when you have weed on you.
You don't go into other states with weed on you.
Yeah. I ain't touching it till it's fully legal.
Well, yeah, you can go back and forth between Colorado and New Mexico with no problems.
Well, they're both legal.
Yeah. But don't go to Indiana
Don't go to Iowa.
or Texas. Oh, yeah, my friend is still fighting the Iowa case.
Was that you that told me about the Iowa?
Yeah.
What about Iowa?
The guy went to Iowa, the kid, he's like 18 years old or something, and he started smoking, and it's illegal in Iowa still. Dumbass kid. Know the laws.
Yeah.
So they didn't break anything, did they? When they knocked over whatever they knocked over? Yeah, well, that's why they're having a problem. Because banks that are federally insured don't take money from businesses that deal in cannabis because it's legal. So what do the people do with the money? They put it in their pocket.
They put it in federally insured banks, is what they do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was overthrown. They changed that.
See, I'm so behind the times.
Because otherwise, that it would be a violation of states' rights.
Yeah. Well, I do want to try the THC cream to see the difference between that and the CBD.
Hmm.
Because from what I've read, they said that there is a difference. And since I'm going to have to move all my fish tanks by myself, I'm going to have to be in better than tip-top condition. The only one that's going to be kind of difficult is the 150 gallon.
Oh, yeah, at an airport? Airports suck, though.
Yeah, airports suck.
Screw flying. I'd rather drive. You get to see the country.
Yeah.
What point is going on vacation when you're not going there and back? Ooh, whoopee. Might as well just watch it on TV.
Be going to Texas in July.
I don't like airports, but it's way faster than driving.
Oh, screw airports. I'd rather drive.
Well, actually, yeah. If my daughter's having surgery, she doesn't need her car.
The getting there is part of the vacation.
Mhm.
That's part of the
Yeah.
fun.
And sometimes getting there fastest part is good.
Oh, no. Might as well not even go. You're missing out of the country.
Not really.
See, I have to not make sure that we don't leave even empty coffee cups around because my hound dog is a coffee addict. And if there's any coffee in the cup, even if it's dry, he will lick it until it's a clean cup.
Well, after he's licking it, it won't be a clean cup until you wash it. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Eh.
Dogs' mouths are dirty as hell.
That's the best way to get rid of people you don't like. When they come to your house and you feed them dinner, afterwards you put the dishes on the floor, let your dog lick them, and then just put them right in the cabinet. Say, aren't they wonderful dishwashers? They'll never come back. Okay, I agree with you. Beds, rough sheets, and too small of a TV. Well, we have a too small TV, but my mom got a 71-inch, so she gave us her 65.
Yeah, but I only ask hers. There was something about the pool. Oh, when in hotels and stuff, the pool, the indoor pool, it was just something about it. The hot tub and shit. Oh yeah.
And my mother walks into my house and says,
Getting lost and having dad owe you pizza because you lost and stuff.
I smell a male cat.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know what? That's part of breeding, Mom.
Now, if I'm road tripping with other people, I'll do
cat
that.
was awesome.
It's just about myself. I'll fly there.
Cat ribbons are
Get
awesome.
there back.
Who cares? Just don't drink the water. He never hurt anybody. It's sterile.
I would say.
Plus, it always has enough chlorine. It's always that nice, strong smell of chlorine and shit. Oh.
Because if you're caught in Iowa with weed in your luggage, even if it's in your trunk,
you don't want to let it
still in possession of marijuana.
Well, if you pee in a pool, it's still, it ain't gonna like poison the pool.
Oh yeah,
with all the chlorine and shit, it's no biggie.
It's got so many chemicals in it. It don't matter.
The club pool where my parents used to live put that red stuff in it. So if any little kid peed in the pool, it would turn red, and everybody gets out and they like clean the pool
that
somehow.
I never came across that.
It's like, just think of the poor fish have to swim in their pee.
Have you ever wondered if fish cry, and if so, how often? Maybe they're crying all the time because they're in glass boxes.
I don't know. They cry on the inside, I think. I don't know.
That's a thought. I don't think I'd like being in a glass box. But on the other hand...
Yeah, it's just fish jail.
Yeah, but if they're not in fish jail, then they're out in the open with no water. And they would be dead.
I think they're fed. They have at least cool water. They don't have to worry about predators. They're probably fine.
Oh, rivers are horrible things. Everything's dirty and slimy. Nothing is healthy or safe. And all food is bad for you.
Yep, that's why I eat anything I want.
As I told my mom, I'm definitely sinning because I'm having fish and chips. neither of which I should have. Okay, because it's fried fish, breaded fish, and French fries.
French fries. I hadn't had any French fries for a while.
Yeah, that
And
sounds
these are
good.
nice, crispy crinkle cut.
I like curly fries.
Oh, I like curly fries too.
Actually, the fry I like the best is a waffle fry.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the waffle fries. Those
like
are
at
good.
Carl's Jr.'s or Hardee's.
Curly fries are interesting.
At least with rivers as compared to lakes. I mean, unless the lake has like a river running through it that changes over the water, things just kind of stay in the lake.
Yeah, that can be bad if they put chemicals into it.
I mean, I think it was not last year, but the year before. Well, Abiquiu Lake does have water running through it from a river, but last year or the year before, it got the cyanobacteria or algae bloom that kills people and dogs. So they close the lake. They have signs everywhere. I'm sorry, dogs don't eat fish, and dogs don't eat French fries.
Oh, bullshit. Dogs eat french fries and dogs eat fish.
Oh, really? Oh, dogs eat French
My
fries, all
dog
right.
loves my dog loves it when I go get salmon because I'll fry it and I'll fry it on both sides like your regular, and then I'll take it and de-skin it and then fry the skin side again real quick to crisp it up, and I give the dog the skin. Oh, it
Oh
loves
yeah,
that.
I
And my dog
mean,
loves French fries.
yeah,
McDonald's,
pretty much
Burger King, Wendy's, anywhere.
any dog sees you eating anything of yours, they'll want to eat it.
yeah.
Oh no, not true. Not true.
No, because
No,
Noah
that's true.
doesn't like
Most
green olives.
My dog wouldn't touch the broccoli I was eating.
yeah, there's some things they won't eat, and some things they will eat. But
My
most of the
mom's
time,
dog,
most
or
dogs will eat what you're eating.
yeah,
True.
because Jamisa used
My
to eat
grandmother's dog, we feed her
sauerkraut.
scraps from the table, and they love
Okay,
it. Pretty much everything.
if you drink and don't urinate, where does the water go?
That means you use it at 100% capacity.
It would like
That's
does it
not
just
that's
ooze out?
exactly the opposite of what science says, I think. Because isn't one of the things for living is consuming and getting rid of waste?
Yeah,
If you consume something, you'd have to get rid of it at some point.
yeah. I mean, the only way is if you were getting if your body was working 100% efficiently.
I don't think there's any thing
Mine
on,
does.
huh?
I don't pee or poop.
Right?
Oh, they're not vampire. Uh-huh.
I'm like King Jong Un. I don't even have a butthole.
Yeah. So it's sort of like because of the salt, they sweat. I'm glad you looked it up because I was tempted.
We're talking
Because
about
he can
piss.
be such a person sometimes.
Terry?
Mhm.
Yeah, he can be a character.
Especially when you start talking about guppies and endlers. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, they're only good for fish food.
What, Terry?
No, guppies and endlers, great Megano fish food.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was sort of starting to wonder what I'm going to do with all these cichlids when they're like 1, 2 inches.
Oh, don't worry about it. Survival of the fittest. Whack,
Small
whack, whack.
sardines.
I should do a video of the Megano tank again to show
Yeah,
you
you
how
haven't
big
done
they
it
are.
for a while. I actually thought about filming the fry tank after I did the water in it and it's all clean and sparkly, but it was too late.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah.
Free your cichlids. Caveat. Come get them. I'll never get rid
Anyway,
of any of them.
I'm going to be calling it early tonight.
Well, I may be too. Because, like, I have holes in me.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to sleep at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 11.
Hmm.
Late night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was
got
crazy.
tomorrow.
So I'll see you guys. Have fun, y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for
See you
coming
later.
and coming up. And I'll see you later. Oh,
Hmm.
read home. Read home.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I don't know, I guess, except I can't really, well, I don't want to take them all out and count them. It's like I'm not looking forward to taking the guppies out to go through and take out all the males to give to the pet store. Well, sell to the pet store. It's an awful lot of work. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
did this a couple of years ago when I separated. I took 3 female cichlids they were holding and I put them in 10-gallon tanks till they spit their fry. Luckily, I got a clue early.
Hmm.
If it didn't look interesting, I put them back in with a big fish.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know what possessed me other than I wanted some more OBs. Oh, what a lovely sound.
Yeah, that is a sound you don't want to hear in the middle of the night. No. Worse is that they got a mouse and like they're crushing the skull.
My parents had a cat that used to catch mice and put them under, like, right about when my dad's hand would go in the middle of the night. So he'd, like, roll over or move and, like, put his hand on a dead mouse.
Oh
Good
god.
kitty. Gross.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a cat when it started getting older. It would start bringing us like its cat.
It loved you.
Mm-hmm. It was like, here's a gift.
Look what I caught for you. God, you are drooling all over my leg. Poor hound dog. Everybody else, I put everybody on a diet and everybody's lost weight.
Hmm.
except for the hound dog.
Hmm.
I guess they're
Chewy.
right. They hit 5 years old and turn fat. Unless you really, really exercise them a lot. No, this is my dinner. You have dinner.
Dinner. I want more dinner.
He's probably one of those dogs that would eat until he was sick.
Hmm.
And he's teaching everybody else to howl. So now at night, when the coyotes come, there's more howling than just him. So I think he's also teaching the neighbor's dogs.
It's just they're acting upon instinct.
Yeah,
They hear him howling, so they're going to start howling.
it'll be a symphony soon.
Yep. That's when you get the shotgun out and shoot them down.
I should
Well,
play
can't
them
do that in some places.
wolf howls so they can learn how to wolf howl.
Hmm.
Nobody that I have is a siren dog, though. I have had siren dogs
Hmm.
that, like, start howling at sirens. But I think we probably don't have enough sirens around here for them to even know what a siren sounds like.
Hmm.
You drooled on my floor, too?
Roll.
Okay, one for you. Like, where's everybody else? Nobody else is begging? Wow. Leo, come on. Hey, that was my fingers. Okay. Oh, there they go. Bark, bark. Ah, but I have found something that does set them off. Police dogs that are barking at criminals. Something about the tone of their voice or their bark. Oh, and this is a change of subject question. Does anybody know who is having the fishbowl contest? And if it's still going on?
I don't know. I've been digging a ditch for the past week, so.
Oh, that doesn't sound like fun.
Nah, they're digging an area. It's got like this. It's just clay and rock. So really hard. You had to get a jackhammer just to break it up.
We're actually on clay, so I understand. And boy, when it gets really wet, it is so slippery.
Oh yeah.
So how do you know that an alien has the same morphology as a moray?
How do we not know? I mean, we don't even know it's at the
Only because
deepest oceans.
it's like, I can't enter this. I don't have a fishbowl. And I don't have $12.99 to buy a fishbowl. But I did have $1.99 to buy, and I'm pretty sure it's one of those 12-inch fish bowls. Anyway, I thought it would look really cool with, like, well, depending upon what the rules are, I think it would look really cool with shrimp in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually could move my globe and put it where the globe is.
Uh,
Because I really liked having shrimp, but I think moving them in with fish was sort of the end of the um, shrimp. And I have a friend who has blue bolts, cherry shrimp, Bloody Mary shrimp. There's someone who has the orange shrimp.
uh,
Thank you.
yep. Degenerate
Uh,
Fish Keeper still on link.
awesome. Because I mean, for $1.99, that I can afford. Because well, except for the shrimp, I have everything else. And packable, okay. Um, except for the shrimp, I have everything else. And I've bought enough stuff from Little Bobby that he would float me to the beginning of the month, so I could like get shrimp from him.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's see. Yeah, packable sounds pretty good. I mean, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever you put in, the needs are met. So, like, oh, one of the people in our, well, I mean, a drive to Albuquerque, but one of the people just posted that they have a bunch of blue mystery snails. I have albino ram's horn, and I guess they're bladder snails,
Mm-hmm.
but they're albinos. The bladder snails are cool because they have like pink on the end of their antenna. I think it's their eyes.
Uh,
I used to think that it was like lack of calcium, that they weren't making like a strong enough shell. But, well, I have way too many snails in the guppy cake. So when I move the polar blues, I have 7 yo-yos, and I'm going to take a yo-yo or two out to eat all the snails.
I'm indifferent on snails. I have no opinion on them.
I like looking at the snail trails through the algae. Um, I guess my room isn't any darker than the living room,
Mm-hmm.
but the 2 tanks that are in the living room right now, hanging out, have algae on the glass. Um, where in my room, there's only the polar blue tank has algae on the back glass in one area where when the sun shines through the crack in the curtains, it hits the glass, but it makes the fish look so pretty. Uh, make for happy puffers. Yeah, I every once in a while collect all my snails and take them to my friend and when I go to Santa Fe for her puffers. Oh, we lost Derek. Yeah, and it would be cool if they made a puffer that was like a community puffer to just like eat all the snails in the tank. Every once in a while, I'll go around and collect all of them, but then they just come back. And it's sort of like duckweed. I gave up trying to, hidden surprise. It's sort of like once you get duckweed, see, there they are. Oh boy. Look, Mom, put cold water in. We're going to make eggs. And then somebody will eat them all. It's sort of weird because when I moved the Daniel tank, it seems like I have less fish, but I mean, there's the same number. I'm not quite sure why, except some of the zebras seem to, well, now they're at the top, of course, but they seem to be swimming more at the bottom. Different lighting or something. And the rams and the black skirts come out much more. It's like since I put the bristlenose in with the coolie loaches, I haven't seen the coolie loaches. They probably buried themselves. Yeah, my friend that I got the blue Acaras from has a 55-gallon tank full of a bunch of pea puffers. And they're so cute. The king of DIY, who I don't watch, has a Acara in with his Oscars. Sort of like, well, hey, George, I want to see your rat setup. Only because now I have rats. Because it was easier to feed the snakes. Kind of. I have... Okay, well, it's their fault. 2 weeks ago, they named Pepe Le Pew, and he's too big to feed any of my snakes now anyway. I might have to buy an adult. Yeah, I actually have like a 6-foot, it kind of looks like the log in the back. I have this huge log and giant rocks to weigh down, the edges of the log. Because it was in the water for 6 months and it was still kind of floaty for the Oscars. So they'll have a couple big rocks. And my Oscars like their fake plants. So they'll have their fake plants, a log, and a couple rocks. And the pleco high. Oh, and the big, huge, I think it's Mopani wood that the pleco likes the other log too, so. Right now the giant log is in my closet. Oh no, this is a log that my boyfriend climbed about 100 feet up the side of a canyon to get. I saw it and I said, oh, that would look perfect in the fish tank. So he actually got out of the car and climbed up and got it. It was like, oh, that's cool. It's all twisty and nice. And I have a couple big pieces of cottonwood that if I had a chainsaw, I would modify a little bit. I might have to find someone with a chainsaw to modify them. Because I just don't see any other way of... The wood is so old and so hard that it's like I'd probably break my jigsaw. But yeah, I like, even though I have fake plants, except for in the bettas and the guppies. I like my, well, it gives me, a place to, okay, that really nice twisty piece is a verboten piece of wood. That's actually that's a juniper root. And 11 years ago, I had it in my fish tank. And I didn't know that it was bad. Um, from what I've been able to find out, if it's really, really dry and there's no sap, the wood is usually okay. And this is weird. Pine wood is dry, is really good for fish. It has, like ponderosa pine, it has antibiotic properties in the wood. Um, the only wood that I've seen, well, besides oleander, which is like totally, um, I'll have to try to find some hornwort then. I just have some super tall fake plants, that I put in to hide the hang on the back filter pull-ups, and they don't seem to move them around. They kind of leave them alone. I think it's because it's sort of, it's a site break. But the rocks, it gives me a place to put all the rocks that I've collected. Like the one in the very back that looks like it has Plecostomus poo. It's actually a fossil. The ones to the right are all local white quartz that I've collected. My giant snail fossils aren't, they're in a bucket waiting for me to set up the big tank. But I have like a huge piece of obsidian that's almost the size of a person's head. Um, you can actually just Google good aquarium wood, and they have like, don't use peach wood or apricot wood because it has cyanide in it, which can leach out. Oh, kiwi skin is not something to eat. Yeah, I actually had about, I think I had 4 crates of it until one of my kids took a sledgehammer to some of it. And when I got a divorce, it was some of the stuff that I didn't get back. And this is the one piece that I got back. It's all from Lassen, or outside of Lassen, on one of the reservations. My friend, let's see. I'm trying to remember where he used to live. I just remember going to his house, and he had a timber wolf, biggest dog. Big, 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 huge. And he told me, he didn't tell me she was a wolf. Yeah, Roundhouse left. He's tired. And he just said, call me and let me know that you're here because my dog's not very friendly. And see now, Chewy, we know what wood is good for oysters. It was probably, no, it could have been the citrus too. The fattest Doberman that I ever met lived on the avocado farm and ate like avocados. But what about wood that you can collect, S? I mean, those, well, manzanita you can collect. It's like, I want to go, there's a guy who just cut down an old apple orchard, and I want to go get a bunch of the branches for my rats to chew on, but I can't ever find them there. It's like, maybe it's time to be a kid and do a midnight rave. I mean, he's bundling them all up to go to the dump. So, like, what was the fruit? Oh, I gave my guppies peaches once. They liked them. Yeah, because if it falls on the water, they're gonna phew, excuse me, phew, the wind must have changed. Smoke. Um, I think there are different kind of almond leaves, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's true. See, and the thing that I like about going up 99 and stopping at the fruit stands is I know that I get almonds with no peanuts. Okay, take it easy, Derek. Sleep well. Thank you for coming. Um, hey, what's up? And how are you today, Mississippi hippie? We're talking, let's see, uh, tannins and branches and leaves. Actual fish talk today. But it's like, okay, I'm deathly allergic to peanuts. Like, if I reach into a bag of peanuts and get peanut oil on my skin, I'm going to the emergency room. But I probably don't have to be intubated. Now, if I breathe in any peanut dust, then I am going to be intubated. So I read every single label of rat and mouse and gerbil and hamster food today. Oh, I don't mention laundry. I got to do laundry. I don't want to do laundry. Yeah, peanuts are in everything. And then I thought, thank you, S. I would look at maybe some bird seed, and they actually have um, tropical fruit bird food, but I wasn't going to pay $25 for a bag of, chopped up fruit because I can probably like make that myself. And there's always laundry. All I can say is at least I don't have 4 kids to do laundry for anymore. And I opened my daughter's closet and she said, "No, Mom." And I looked and she said, "All the dirty laundry's on the floor. I haven't picked it up yet." And I said, "Oh, that's why we have walk-in closets, so we can throw our kids' dirty clothes and our clothes on the floor and then just scoop it up and do laundry." She looked at me like, "You're not mad?" My daughter's like OCD. I was actually more shocked that she would have clothes on the floor instead of in a laundry basket. She says, "I just don't understand. There's always laundry to do." I said, "Well, yeah, especially because you have 2 boys and they're always out. They like going outside and playing in the dirt with their trucks, and they're going to get dirty." When it was funny, when I lived off grid, we could go twice a month to the thrift store and get 2 sets of clothing. So when I moved from off grid, I had all these Rubbermaid um, containers full of clothes. And my dad decided, I told him I'd do the laundry, but my dad decided to do it. And I came over to their house because I had some of my stuff in their garage. And he said, "Okay, young lady, I have to ask you a question." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "I did some of your laundry." And I'm thinking, oh my God, when you live off grid, your laundry can get really dirty. He said, Why in the world would one person have 47 sweatshirts? And I said, well, it's actually two of us have 47 sweatshirts. Wow. He said, because we never did laundry in the winter. Ooh, a lime tree would be nice. Nice fresh limeade. I love limeade. Lemonade is okay, but I love limeade, but I don't like key lime stuff. I want a Chicago hardy fig tree because they grow in Chicago, so they would grow here. That's sort of like my dream tree is to have some fig trees. Yeah, we get lazy and we don't do laundry because, like, I have way too many clothes. But when I lost weight, I got rid of all my, and this was so stupid and I should have known better. I got rid of all my, like, extra large and double X clothes, and so now I'm having to rebuy them. It sucks. Especially because everything's so expensive now. I didn't know fig tree. I've never had a fig tree, so. The wind will just blow it away, blow the leaves and stuff away. Like, well, actually, I bet the neighbor's pigeons would eat the figs. And the ravens would eat the figs. I actually have like four locust trees and a locust bush, that's from a runner. And they must be 11 or 12. No, they're taller than the house now, or almost as tall as the house. They came from my parents, and my parents' trees had pink flowers, and they actually flowered for the first time last year, and I missed it. Well, the bunnies would like it. We have a lot of bunnies and jackrabbits. I like the jackrabbits. The cottontails have now figured out that they can get close to the fence where the dogs are in with relative safety. I mean, if the dogs run at them, they'll go hopping off. Because I used to go like way to the backyard to throw bunny feed out, but yeah, I don't mind feeding the wildlife. It's not like I have neighbors that would complain. But I don't know if I could grow them just because I'm not that good at growing plants. I mean, my mom's night blooming cereus that she gave me does not look happy at all. If she saw it right now, she would probably chew me out. And I told her that the other one died, so why she gave me a second one, I don't know. It's like, look, I'm hard enough I can grow dwarf sage and val plants. And I just got a new plant which looks like it's not the octopus stigma, whatever, but it kind of looks like that. Or maybe it is that. I don't know. It was free. I water with the fish water, but ooh. Oh, my mom used to have African violets. They're beautiful. My mom has a green thumb. I can grow virtually any kind of animal. Well, except this year I'm not growing fish very well. I mean, at least breeding wise. Oh no, because I do have 3 cichlids that are holding, but being in a bare bottom empty tank, the fry aren't going to do very well. Um, so maybe, hopefully, a few of them will survive if I get it all moved over. I just have to figure out the best way to move a 150-gallon tank. I mean, I'm having engineering dreams of fulcrums and levers and hang on, don't leave yet. Thank you. It was a good dinner. Fish and chips was a great idea.
Okay.
Space violets. I've never seen those. I'll have to look those up. I saw, and I think they're petunias that were yellow and white. And they were small. Maybe they were just small flowers. But those were really pretty. I mean, I totally love my mom's night blooming cereus, which blooms every couple of months. And, well, I have 2 leaves in a hang on back filter, and they're doing okay. I mean, they're just leaves. And then I have this poor 2-foot tall plant, which was in between Smuppy and the rats, so it kind of got scratched up. And I mean, they're such beautiful flowers. I was really hoping it would live. Animals, I could do. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I have to check and see how the isopods are doing. And, I was really amazed because I think it was the University of Ohio. I want to say in Cleveland. That was one of the first universities in the United States to get Madagascar hissing cockroaches. And they've had the same line of cockroaches ever since they got them. And the cockroaches don't degrade genetically. Well, I'll have to look them up. And after, I think it's been about 25 years, I got down to 4 of my original roaches. They were just having really bad sheds and weird, strange things and dying. And I finally figured it out. You cannot feed hissing roaches commercial dog food because there's something in the commercial dog food that makes them sick and kills them. So I'm sort of starting over with my roaches. But now I feed them cichlid pellets. Because I figure, they're healthy. They don't have weird chemicals and stuff. I mean, look what weird chemicals have done to the human race. My dad's house is, according to my mother, about a quarter mile away from the church that in Laguna Woods that 5 people got shot. My mom says, oh, but that's okay because they're not there. They're in Buffalo. Yeah, well, it's I wanted to try some hydroponics with tomatoes, but you can't put tomato I don't think in 25 years I've ever had a roach with a cold. Well, you can get, I mean, they only live a couple of years, but you can get pretty attached to them. I mean, I would say I went one winter and sort of forgot my roaches once. I felt really bad and guilty. I mean, I know I used to have, well, yeah, because especially hissing roaches, you can, like, they get to know you, they don't hiss at you anymore because it's a defense mechanism. They get used to your smell and they'll come up on your hand. I mean, the first 5 years my roaches were like that. But then it was like, the first kid, you always got that baby wipe and their face is always clean. And by the fourth kid, he comes in with dirt coming out of his mouth. Oh, well. My mom hates that when I say stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. I was almost feeling bad about feeding last Thursday until the rat drew blood. And it was like, I go to pick you up and you bite me. Oh, you're not going to bite me anymore. I was actually looking for backpacks that I could put a mesh pocket in for air so I could carry Pepe Le Pew around. See what you guys did by naming my rat? He's so soft, though. And it's weird because his fur looks the same curly like his dad, but his dad feels like almost like an Airedale wire hair terrier. And he feels more like a cashmere lamb. Clean cashmere, of course. Or an Angora. Well, yeah. But, they gotta eat. And ratsicles are much more expensive. And it is sort of my fault for getting the snakes. I mean, I have to feed them. It took me like 5 minutes. Oh, thank you. I was so excited the other night because Karma, I sort of snuck Karma in. Okay, well, my boyfriend was with me when I got her, but we stopped at the gas station. And I walked over to this pickup truck and I said, oh, yeah, she's got puppies in there. Look, can I have this puppy? And I knew she was going to be at the gas station. But he knows me well enough to know that we weren't just going to the strange gas station for no reason. But, she's Great Pyrenees, St. Bernard, Australian Shepherd, and Pit Bull. And her mom is the St. Bernard, Great Pyrenees, absolutely beautiful, and her dad's ugly. Sort of looks like, I don't know, he's an ugly dog. But I just wanted short fur. So, well, not with cats. Having the two is difficult. I mean, poor Morris has to stay in the bedroom. Otherwise, somebody will probably eat him. That's our cat. But Karma's the biggest dog I have, but she has kind of shortish legs. Okay, he was so ugly, he was cute. Her legs are a little bit shorter than like a normal St. Bernard or Great Pyrenees, but she's really long. She got into bed last night, and she was so insistent she didn't kick Leo out. Nobody kicks Leo out of bed. And she laid next to me, and it was almost like having a Great Dane because she's so long. She's a great dog. Not good on a leash or anything because the only time she's been out is to the vet to get her shots. or her rabies shot because I can't do that. Um, but yeah, they're very spoiled. I just want to know what they were talking about because that little conclave they had lasted like a half hour after I quit filming. I mean, I'm sitting here and they're right behind me, and I keep hearing Leo making comments because he's like the only one who's talkative, except for the hound, and the hound just he doesn't really like play with the others. He has a total different personality, and they were just like, it's like, all right, what are you guys conspiring about? But even the hound dog can get in the sink. It's like they're crafty, but they're all spoiled. Yeah, Karma is like, she's got to be around, she's over a year now because I got her in the winter, I think. I have it written down. I want a Great Dane again, but I'm going to limit myself to 4 dogs. I mean, as it is, everything I have will probably outlive me. The snakes probably, for sure. And my cichlids. Actually, no, Karma is like, that's what's really weird, is Karma's the youngest. The last 2 arrived. You know, she's still a puppy. Um, Leo actually took her, he used to guard her when she'd eat her food and stuff. And she really is low dog on the totem pole. But last night, she just really wanted to sleep next to me. Usually, she sleeps at the end of the bed because luckily I have an extra long twin. And only being 5'1", there's a lot of space at the end of the bed. But last night, she just like, okay, I'm sleeping here. And Leo slept at the end of the bed, which is just really strange. He didn't even complain. You've never had a fluffy animal? Wow. Well, let's see. I guess when I was born, my parents had a dog. Then they got a cat. And then I started getting introduced to snakes and reptiles and tarantulas at about 3. Karma can be a bitch. But you know, she's over a year because she never went into heat. I was kind of waiting. I have fur everywhere anyway. But 4 dogs, yeah. It's like, don't forget to clean out the filter on the dryer, like in the middle of when you're drying clothes. That's why I have a shop vac instead of a regular vacuum cleaner, because it's much easier to vacuum up massive amounts of dog fur and rat food and rat bedding and fish food, except usually the dogs eat the fish food off the floor, and sand and everything else that goes on the floor. I know, it's like I'll go out and my mom will say, don't you have any other color sweatpants in the winter, than black? Because they're covered with white fur. Excuse me. So I wore a gray pair of sweatpants, light gray. They were all covered with black fur. So I told my mom it doesn't matter what color I wear. Either the black or the white or the brown fur will show up. But I have to admit, the ragdoll fur is much softer than dog fur. Ragdolls would be a good cat to spin their fur. Because the ragdolls have like an undercoat, don't they? They kind of became popular like after I quit breeding cats. I should have stuck with breeding cats and not gotten married. Oh, then I wouldn't have my 4 kids. Well, I wouldn't have 3 of them anyway. Sort of when you start thinking, what if I would have done this instead of that? Yeah, because I only met one actual ragdoll cat. And that was when I went to pick up Jake in Texas. Um, their neighbor raised ragdolls. And I just remember it being a thick, plushy black kitty. Like, ooh, this is nice. This kitty just wants to sit in my lap and be pet. Whereas Koraks really aren't. Yeah, mine. I after I quit breeding and stuff. Definitely not a fish hoarder. You can't hoard fish. I actually thought about getting rid of some fish. But then I'd probably just replace them with something else. And if I'm going to continue to degrade the way I am, I don't need anything more. Which is something like I'd never thought that I'd say. I mean, I figured, maybe 6 months ago, I figured by now I'd be like up walking around more than like to the bathroom. And I didn't think, I figured, standing up for 20 minutes doing the cop watch really, really killed me for a couple days. And it was like, well, that's why I didn't stream last Monday. I was just like, too sad. It's like, okay, let's get off the pity party. This is part of life. You can deal with it. It's not like you're dead yet. Just I sort of have more energy than my body wants to. I have more energy to do things than my body wants to do. See, that's the thing is, I don't think anybody knows how many fish makes you a fish hoarder. I mean, because if you think just people that have guppies, I must have like 100 guppies. And if you had 100 cats or 100 dogs and you weren't a serious breeding facility, you'd definitely be a hoarder. But having 100 guppies, you're not a fish hoarder. I mean, it really doesn't look like I have 40 to 60 fry in a 60-gallon tank, 65-gallon tank. But at least some of them are starting to color up, so I can probably start trying to rehome some of them. Because I just really don't need them all. I need to get the Oscars in my room. And at this point, I'm ready to put them into the 75-gallon just so they're in here. Because, I'm dreaming of fulcrums and levers and pivot points and furniture moving dollies and winches. Ways I can move 150-gallon tank onto the stand. What, Leo? So, you might just have to break down and hire somebody. But I don't want to spend money. wetness. I just want to be a fish and swim around. Okay, maybe not. Somebody would catch me on a hook and eat me. Leo, why are you being so noisy? You got real mouthy lately. Oh, Leo always wants to help. Well, except when that needle came out this afternoon. And the doctor pulled that needle out and he just backed up. Actually, it's kind of funny because the first time Leo looked out my mom's apartment window, she's on the second floor. It was obvious he doesn't like heights. Um, he's very careful when he goes out on our patio to make sure he stays on the rug and he doesn't walk on the wood where he could see down. And it's like a 3x6 patio. It's real small. Watch out for Leo is because Leo's going to start doing auditing. We're going to do disability auditing and go to state, federal, city buildings. Yes, dog. So you have to watch out for Leo because he's going to audit you and make sure that you're disability compliant. You don't throw my service dog out of the public library, which before I knew better, I was actually thrown out of 2 local libraries. And I wasn't even filming. Yeah, today was like good for catch and release with Albuquerque audits and let's see, it was Good Citizen Media or Media Good Citizen. But Good Citizen should not have gone to Walsenburg because Walsenburg, Colorado is dangerous. Okay, take it easy, Danny. Kiss a parrot and a kitty. And thank you for coming. So yeah, I actually missed Albuquerque audit's arrest by like 5 minutes because I had to go to the doctor. And I came home and I saw, I guess it was Darren something or other, said problems in Huerfano County. And I used to live in Walsenburg. And if you gave me 100 acres with a mansion, okay, 10 acres with a mansion in Walsenburg, or told me to go live on the streets, and keep in mind I'm disabled and over 60, I would go live on the streets before I would accept a free mansion on 10 acres in Walsenburg. My brother got arrested for breaking and entering his own house when he came here on a court-okayed vacation. His lawyer told him not to come back because sort of once you get in trouble to work in Walsenburg, you never get out of it. It's like people go to Walsenburg, and I mean, I know these people personally. Their car breaks down, their semi breaks down. You don't leave. I sold my van for scrap to people who'd been trying to leave Walsenburg for 3 years. When I was trying to leave Walsenburg, I got arrested for stealing the U-Haul I rented. My stuff confiscated, well, the truck confiscated, and taken to Colorado Springs. I would say I got about half my stuff back, but I'm banned from ever renting a U-Haul again. The very next day, and I forgot what the reason was now, the police towed my van, and it was registered and insured, but they towed my van, And there were like two other things that happened. And I finally just sort of gave up on some of the stuff that I really wanted to move with me and just left town. Because it was like, I knew if I didn't leave then, I would never get out. Walsenburg is the most evil town I have ever been in the entire United States. So why anybody would go cop watching? And he's going, oh yeah. I was just filming and they got me for cussing and stuff. And, here's this guy that pulled a gun on me, threatened to blow my head off. And he's like some retired FBI guy. I hate to tell this guy, like Colorado Springs and Denver lawyers will not touch a case in Walsenburg. He's going to have one of the big cop watch lawyers help him get out of the mess he's got himself in. I mean, Walsenburg is so corrupt. They actually fired the entire police department, the city of Walsenburg Police Department when I was there, so the town would be covered by the sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department was more corrupt than the city cops. It's a bad place. I kind of feel sorry for him, but nobody will listen to me. I'm just one of those little stupid things. Sort of what the public defenders used to call me before I started getting them fired and stuff. So yeah, I decided that's my little niche, is since I'm disabled, doing disability audits. I mean, not that Goodwill is private, but their big thing is we hire the handicap. If it wouldn't have been for my boyfriend, I would not have been able to go shopping in Goodwill today because they have handicap parking, a ramp, but there's no way to open the doors. They're like, you're going to pull on them real hard. So I figure why not? I like auditing, I like cop watching, and kind of nobody does disabled stuff. So since Leo goes everywhere with me, it's his job. Okay, and I've talked enough. Remember everybody and anybody? I don't think there's that many of us left. There is a link pinned at the top. I have to admit, it is kind of weird when you live stream like this, because you can answer questions in the chat. Well, I guess I'm just kind of a motor mouth, so I can go on and on and on. I probably just talked for 15 minutes about Leo. And I understand that, the profile pictures are little, but I mean, even shape-wise, without my glasses, all three of my logos, well, no, the Poeseewi and Leo were watching, this one looks basically the same. I mean, look out for Leo is just without the fishbowl. And well, Cichlid Dishes Fishies has to be fishes. And I'm finding that a lot of the cop watchers have stickers. They never say anything about them. Yeah, it is kind of hard to. No, I could probably, if I pretended you guys weren't here, I mean, I talked to the fish, I talked to the dogs all day. So, I could just keep talking. I'm good at talking. Motor mouth, yes. Let's see. Okay, today was fish stories. When I was Let's see. I think I was not 9 years old. I was either 7 or 9. We went to the Grand Coulee Dam in Washington State. We lived in Washington. Bloodworms. I don't know. For some reason, I've seen a couple. I mean, I've seen the thing for your stream. I just haven't made it yet. Um, I would say the last 2 weeks I've sort of been sleeping, not feeling good. So I promise you I will catch it. The therapy. I think bloodworms are one thing that I sort of have a problem with, and I'm not sure why. Bloodworms can probably eat worms. I know lots of people would like to eat worms. Yeah, I've just sort of been a flake recently. I'll admit it. It's like, on the way home today, it was like, God, I can't take a nap. I've been up. Okay, now I'm going to sound like Roundhouse. I've been up since 11 o'clock in the morning. Actually, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I went to the doctor. We went to the thrift stores. And I really do need a nap. But, maybe I just won't stream. No, I can't do that. So, yeah, aquariums is therapy. Okay, if you ever want to, and we have only Oscars as our witness, on my page is a thing called MAD, and then the disability streams, and I think they're all on one playlist. If you would like to use any of the information, as far as what to do when you're mad, scientific reasons fish are good for you, that kind of stuff, feel free. I give you my permission, because aquariums really are good therapy. Even my mom thinks so. She said, "This is the first time I can remember," which isn't really true, "that you've been so enthusiastic and you actually talk about friends," which is true. Oh yeah, I'd love to be a guest. I really I've been a guest on. I was on Big K Kings. I'll send you a link to it because I have your email. I think it's under disabilities, because for a while I was going to do that, and then I don't know. I think cop watching got in the way. That and my health, because I started it. I started doing the disability the first time that I couldn't walk. And then I got out of the wheelchair and I was walking. And I mean, I'm not totally wheelchair dependent, but I definitely can't walk around a store. And then I just sort of got, oh yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Thank you so much for reminding me. June, once I collect all my because I'm going through all my stickers, because I have a ton of fish stickers and I have lots of duplicates, and I remember Chris saying he was collecting stickers. I can just send them to your address. Because I don't need all these stickers. They're just sitting in a bag. Ah, I like, do your cats chatter at bugs? My mom's cat will sit there. And the other day she saw a mayfly, and she was just like, it was, on the other side of the sliding glass door, and she was just like, it was so cool. Cats make some of the neatest noises. It's like you're gonna scare it away. I always wonder what our cat would do with the fish, but I would have to like lock all the dogs out of the house to let him out. Yeah, and boy, can cats fly when they're after flies or bugs. That's pretty good. Birds. Oh yeah, my mom's cat loves birds. Well, it's so funny because, I found one day when I was leaving, I usually just put on movies or documentaries or something for noise for the dog. And I actually saw dog TV. It was really boring. It just showed ducks walking up and down the side of a pond. Now, the other day when I left, I almost put on cat TV because they had rats. And I looked down and I saw all the stuff on my desk. And I thought, no way. Because if she sees rats, she's going after my computer monitor and everything on my desk will be on the floor. Not a good idea. So I haven't watched rat TV yet. Yeah, I didn't even think if Morris looks out the window, he sees some of the neighbors' more wild pigeon. My neighbor breeds racing pigeons, and I'm not sure what else. I've only known him, I don't know, since about 2005 or 6. And because we moved in at about the same time, and the first thing he built was what I thought was a garage. It's actually his pigeon barn, and I've never been in it. I mean, I know that there's birds in there, and this guy knows the genetics. He's the type of guy, he's a construction worker. You wouldn't think that he's scientifically oriented, but when he starts talking bird genetics, wow. Now that's interesting. Big cats. I should experiment sometime. My mom has Alexa, and she always, plays with her cat by making Alexa either meow or bark. But I never see her cat anymore because I walk in, and even if I don't have Leo, her cat either goes to the high places or the closet. Oh no, a flat tire. I hate flat tires. And it was funny because I have a 2006 Dodge Caravan, and my boyfriend said, we really should put the spare tire. Okay, see, now I'm going to sit there tomorrow and experiment with my dogs and different animals. Oh, I don't know. They didn't seem to be upset when I watched Nim. They didn't really, show any. I want to try wolves. See if I can get them to howl. I'm sure Boogie will howl because, he howls at coyotes. He said, we should really put the tire back under the van. Okay, I got a good red light on the dash for tire low pressure. Um, but on the 2006, they don't put the tire in the back. They put it basically under the front two seats, right behind the engine. So it is like a total pain in the butt. So it's not going back under the van. I'll go buy a bicycle lock and lock it to the roof rack first. Yeah, my parents' van, which my dad keeps threatening that he'll give me, is I think it's a 2007 Town and Country, and it has a low air pressure warning light. So my parents were driving around all day long doing chores and stuff, and they get home and my mom calls and said, you don't know how many times today we stopped to get air. And I said, well, maybe you should get the tire checked, if it has a leak or something. They said, no, your father kept stopping. He checked all the air in the tires and they were all the same. But we couldn't get the light to turn off. The spare tire had a sensor in it. So when the spare tire was low on air, the light came on. And the only reason they found out was because my dad took it to the dealer because he thought that the sensor was broken. And the first thing they did was check the spare. And it's like, okay, I don't want that kind of idiot light. It's basically an hour to Santa Fe. And I had what looked like a cut on the sidewall, but it looked more like, the spare. Is that weird or what? I know probably June is the only one who would remember recaps. It looked like a recap coming apart. So, a fairly new tire, definitely under warranty. I took it back, and it actually was coming apart, but it had lost, just in the ride to Santa Fe, it had lost like 25 pounds of air. And even though it was 5 o'clock, only us old people remember recaps. It was 5 o'clock when I pulled in, and they said, oh, we can't let you drive out with this. This is definitely a dangerous tire. And when he took it off, the split was enough that he could stick his finger from the inside of the tire. The rubber it had split just enough that if I would have tried to drive it home, a bubble would have, been created and it would have blown up. So it was really good they changed the tire for me. And it cost me like $10, for a new warranty. And much cheaper than a new tire. So figured if anything weird like that was going to happen again. Oh, well, you're welcome. See, I had a really nice Cadillac, and I really liked my Cadillac. And I live on a really, bad country road, and I would drive my Cadillac very slowly in and very slowly out, being real careful, and then the computer went out. And it was like $4,000 for the computer. So I got rid of my Cadillac really cheap. And they threw in a new computer and it lasted about a month before it blew it out. Mm. Yeah, see, I never would have thought that the spare tire would be, you know, have a sensor in it. I mean, there was a time once where my daughter and I were, like up in the mountains, 2 hours away from home, and we got a flat tire, so we changed the tire, and the spare was flat, and then we had to wait like 3 hours for my roommates and stuff to come up and rescue us. And my poor boyfriend was like, "Please let me drive home with you. I don't care if the car has no heat. They fought the entire way here." It's like, okay, it was very bizarre. But one of my foster kids figured out what was wrong with that Taurus, and I am not joking. It was out of starter fluid. Luckily now he is much more car informed. It's like, oh no, the starter motor doesn't have fluid in it. At least not last time I checked. Oh, I'd love a haunted car. My friend lived in a haunted house. It was really cool. I haven't been so lucky. I mean, I've been to a lot of places that were haunted, but I never had one of my own. My daughter is now coming. My daughter has premonition of accidents, usually fatal car accidents. And she's never really been, I want to say, down with the idea. But now, and I told her to quit freaking out. This is just life. My son OD'd like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. And as far as I can remember, it was definitely before David was born. It was before Connor was born. And even though they've seen pictures, they can describe Jeremy's personality. And she called me up the other day and she said, "Mom, it was so freaky." Connor, who's almost 3, said Connor turned around and looked in the washer and dryer and said, "Look, Mommy, it's Uncle Jeremy. He's here." And Molly said she couldn't turn around and look because she was too scared that he would be standing there. And I said, "Chill out. It's okay. Weird stuff happens. You just have to, like, roll with it." I said, it's just a different part of nature. My mom was raised very Orthodox Jew, sort of. More like Yentl, but by very Orthodox parents. And I was always sort of afraid to tell her that I was more of the Kabbalistic type. Her dad died 7, 8, probably 9 or 10 years before I was born. But he was also like me. Yeah, see, and that's the thing, is that kids are more open to it until you tell them, no, 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 it's not real, it's fake. The first time Jeremy did anything, I was dropping it off at kindergarten. And see, so she's just checking in on you. I forgot to give Jeremy something, and he'd already gone around the corner of the building, which was about half of a football field. And I thought to myself, oh, damn, I forgot to give Jeremy something. And I looked up, and Jeremy was running back. And he looked at me and he said, "I heard you, Mom. What did you forget to give me?" And it was like, all I could think of was, yes, yes, yes. So he was very talented, creative, and intuitive, and I was one of the very, very, very few not crying at his memorial. But he just had a different place to go. He was done here. And see, that's the thing is with things like that, June, you never have a choice. It's their choice. I mean, I always fear that, and this is sort of funny you mentioned burnt popcorn. I figure I'll always associate my mom with the smell of burnt garlic bread. My mom is a fantastic cook. My mom can cook virtually anything except garlic bread. I mean, she could sit there and watch it like a hawk. All she has to do is blink her eyes, and the garlic bread will burn. And I always figured that if there was a scent that I was going to connect with my mom, it would be burnt garlic bread. And it's like, I never told her that because it's like, well, I can cook all this good stuff and you're going to remember me because the one time, okay, maybe 50 times I burnt the garlic bread. I mean, I remember it got to the point where, oh, Ralph, which is my dad, would you please make the garlic bread? I'm busy with the rest, finishing up the sauce. And it wasn't that she was too busy to make the garlic bread. She just didn't want us to tease her about burning the garlic bread again because it just like happened too often. So I'll probably get to remember my mom by the smell from the smell of burnt garlic bread. God, my desk is really a mess. I guess that's what happens. Oh, my daughter and I like burnt marshmallows. I mean, I really like them when they're like toasted and brown, but I don't think that I really have like the patience to sit there and cook them perfectly. And I always thought, for someone with some considerable OCD, lumpy potatoes, my mom once decided she was going to make smooth mashed potatoes, and she put them in the blender. It was like potato soup. It was definitely not mashed potatoes. And I told her all we needed to do is go to the store, and if we could buy some leeks, we could have potato leek soup, which my mom makes really good. Even though potato soup is not really good for you because it's too much carbs. My mom, well, since my dad is diabetic, my mom was always the food Nazi. I mean, every night when we talk, we'd discuss what we're eating, which is why I told her I was sitting tonight. And instead of having like baked fish, I was having fish and chips with real fish, fried fish, and French fries. Although vinegar chips would have been nice, but French fries. Oh, I don't believe this. I've been looking for a screwdriver everywhere, and there's one on my. And here's a wonderful TBS meter. Thank you so much. Bubble and squeak. Is it like biscuits and gravy? I could ask my cousin. She lives in London now. Well, actually, I think she's selling her house in London and moving out of town. She says it's too hard to get flatmates that are good vegans. She always gets creeps. I grew up with be like your cousin, be like your cousin. You know, she's in college, she's in law school, she got a scholarship for all expenses paid. Scholarship to Cambridge for a year of her law school. And then she took the bar and she flunked it. Like lots of people flunk the bar on their first try. So rather than try again, she packed up, took advantage of being able to have um, English citizenship and moved out of the United States to avoid her student loans. And now she talks like she's from there, but she's really a New Yorker. You could take the girl out of New York, but you can take the girl out of off the street, but you can't take. Oh, that sounds good. I saw a recipe the other day that was like all in a foreign language, but for some recipes you don't need instructions. They took like top ramen noodles, but not top ramen noodles, and they cooked them, and then they chopped up all kinds of vegetables. There were carrots and red and yellow peppers and scallions, bok choy, a bunch of other stuff. Um, then they put some oil in a frying pan and the ramen noodles in a frying pan, all the vegetables and a couple of eggs in the frying pan, and made sort of a ramen vegetable noodle omelet. Looked pretty good. And it looked like it was like nice and crispy. God, I just ate. And you're making me like hungry. Yeah, part of my problem right now is okay, I used to be a really good cook. And I absolutely love cooking. But I can't stand up long enough to cook. And I've tried like sitting on a tall chair, like a bar stool chair, and cooking. But there's always, you need to get up and get a spice, or you need to get up and get this. And okay, I have to say, there's certain New Zealand cuisine I'm like really fond of, like mussels. I want yabbies because I hear that yabbies. I hear yabbies taste different than crawdads because they're like basically the same thing. And I used to go to the Isla Vista or Isleton. It's right below Sacramento, Isleton. I used to go to the Crawdad Festival every year. I take it you don't like yabbies. Or is it that you don't like bloodworms? I never really thought of Australia as having a cuisine. Okay, now I'll tell you what's really good. Real Yorkshire pudding. I like real prime rib and York. Oh, you don't eat. Well, I should be Jewish, but I like seafood. Yeah, Yorkshire pudding, if it's made right, my mom had the recipe that now I have. Oh, yeah, nice thick gravy and some really nice prime rib. My brother for Christmas when he worked at, actually, I think two of the restaurants he used to work at, they used to give him like this huge prime rib for Christmas, part of his Christmas bonus, and he'd make the prime rib. My mom would make Yorkshire pudding. My brother would make gravy. It was wonderful. Oh, I just saw an article. There was a woman in Ohio who was selling the crayfish that you don't have to mate. That they just, I guess it's parthenogenesis or something, where they're just, they're all female and they just like reproduce. She got busted for invasive species because she was selling them, I guess, on eBay or something all over the country. And she sold to a couple places where they are listed as they clone, where that they are listed as an invasive species. So she got busted, and it's like, whoa, I know somebody has those. I better get on fast. It's like, what am I going to do with self-replicating crawdads? No, they'd be my friends. I wouldn't want to eat them. And I definitely wouldn't let them loose. But I remember there were a couple people in the fish fam that have those. I tried I think part of my fear of having like one of the blue lobster crays is because my daughter and I we caught 35 crawdads and we brought them home and we made sure that okay, let me correct myself here. We thought we made sure that the lid was really tight on the tank and there was nowhere they could get out. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, there was a piercing scream. There was a crawdad in the middle of the bathroom floor. And then when my daughter went into the hallway, there was another crawdad. And in the corner of the kitchen, the cats had a couple of crawdads cornered. They weren't going any closer to them. They were just sitting there with the crawdads with their little claws up. We found 34 of them. Never know what happened to that 35th. There were a couple missing. And it was like, there's my fish tail. That was my one and only experience keeping crawdads. I mean, we even taped part of the lid down so they wouldn't escape. And like I put pieces of styrofoam and folded up cardboard, like right around where we thought they could escape from, around the filter. So we never knew where they got out. It was just that they all got out. And the best, I wish I would have had a camera at that time because the cats, there are 3 cats in like a semicircle in the corner of the kitchen and these 2 crawdads with their pincers up, just opening and closing them. And the cats were just sitting there looking at them, wagging their tails, like, smells like food, dangerous food. It was just, so I don't think we got to bed till like 5 or 6 in the morning after catching them all. They were all over the house. They were under the couch. Those little suckers, it's like, I thought you were supposed to be in water. Like a catfish. I caught the catfish at 10 o'clock at night. Got home at 2 or 3. And it was in a plastic bag in the sink. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, my now ex woke me up with what in the hell is this fish doing in the sink? I said, because I was too tired to clean it last night. And he goes, what? I said, I caught it at 10 o'clock last night, and we got home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was too tired to clean it, so I just put it in the sink, figuring I'd do it when I woke up. And he goes, no, you are getting in the car right now, and you're taking this fish back to the river. And I said, what do you mean I'm taking it back to the river? And he said, how long? When did you catch it? I said, at 10 o'clock. He said, you mean this thing has been out of the water for 8 hours and it's still alive? There is no way you're going to eat this. So I went and put it back. Ooh. Yeah, well, they get all kinds of cool stuff in Australia. Like giant burrowing roaches. Lots of dangerous poisonous things, too. God, now I'm going to have all these things to look up. Space violets, rainforest crabs. Thank goodness I have a pen and pencil. I mean, pencil and paper. I'm going to have more work to do than after this than before that. Yeah, I tend to like, it's like, I don't like mice, I like rats. I don't like parakeets, I like parrots. I guess I'm more fond of big fish than little fish because I always think I'm going to break little things. Like if I had a chihuahua, I'd probably break it. But a Great Dane, that's a big dog. I always wanted Maine Coons because they were big cats. I'll have Lamington crayfish. So they get like lobster size. That would be cool. Even a small lobster would be cool. I would like, if I got salt water, I'd like an octopus. But with my luck, it would probably climb out and eat me in the night. There's a lot of cool saltwater fish. I mean, like, I'd like to do things like my parents did. Like go swimming with the lemon sharks, play with the manta rays. Already played with a stingray, that hurt. My parents have done everything on my bucket list. Actually, I don't really think I have that much of a bucket list anymore because, well, I got my bucket list fish, and that was a disaster. And I think finally realizing my limits, my bucket list things went away because they're things that I'll never be able to accomplish. My one big dream is to have a themed room motel. My son and I designed it. It would be awesome. Like the gaming room, leather and lace, Southwest theme, aquarium theme, cave room. It would be a Western room, like a medieval room, a jungle room. And there's a motel that's not too far away that's for sale. It's been for sale for a while, but like my daughter says, well, Mom, unless you play the lottery, you'll never win the lottery. So I would love to own a motel. And this one's set up really cool. It has like 3 kind of separate areas. So you could have like a smoking section, a non-smoking section, and an animal section. And you could rent a dog for the night, providing you have good references. I'd probably be more picky about renting a dog for the evening than a motel room. And if you have a local address, forget it. You're not staying in my motel. You can go to one of the casinos. Yeah, they had a big meeting at our, not my town, but in Espanola. I guess it was yesterday, because, yeah, I was really surprised they're having a governmental meeting on Sunday, assuring the local hotels and the casino hotels that they would get paid for housing the fire evacuees, since they're now evacuating more places to the north of us. So I guess the evacuees come down here. It was really weird because this morning it was really windy here, and when we got to where my doctor's appointment is in Santa Fe, it wasn't windy, but really smoky. And when we left Santa Fe, it wasn't smoky. It actually rained like 10 drops. It was pretty cool. Okay, you guys, it's been almost 3.5 hours, and my legs are really starting to, like, the pain medicine is wearing off really well, wearing off. So I'm going to take a pain pill and go to sleep. And thank you, everybody. And Mississippi Jerry, put in when your stream is, and I'll write it down in front of me. I love when you hand feed fish like that. I hand feed mealworms and shrimp to the Oscars, and they just get, like, when I guess it's sort of a force of habit. When I'm going to hand feed them, I always have the jar with the lid off in one hand, and I guess they just learn. So if I walk up to the tank with the square jar in my hand with no lid on it, they get all excited because they know that, they're going to get shrimp and mealworms. And nobody bites. I mean, I think that was the one thing I remember about fish videos. One of the first fish tube videos I watched was somebody cleaning their Oscar tank and explaining how dangerous the Oscar was. And that it didn't matter, going in there with tongs, tweezers, the Oscar would attack, and she kept getting longer and longer tools so she didn't get bitten. And I thought, my little, 1.5 inch, one thinned Oscar, he doesn't bite. So if I just keep being nice to him and feed him, he won't grow up and be a butthead. Yeah, see, that's the thing is that it's a difference of, popping the lid and bringing the tweezers. So she knows the tweezers need food, whereas mine know that the square container that I'm holding in my hand mean, they're getting the special treats. I mean, if you think about it, eating the same food all the time must get boring. I mean, we don't eat the same food all the time. Well, unless you're one of my foster sons, all he eats is pizza. And cannot live by pizza alone. Man needs anchovies on his pizza. Yeah, I must have like a deficiency in sodium because I don't eat salt, except like naturally occurring in food salt. And I have been like craving green olives and anchovies, which are like salt, and eggs, which is like the only food I put salt on. But you can't just eat salt. Too salty. It always makes me think of like when I was a little kid and we get knocked over at the beach and you get the salt water in your mouth. Okay, so let's see. I guess I'm done. I'm tired. What can I say? And I'm in pain. So, oh yeah, Sherry, she must have left. Okay, well, I'll find it. Okay, thank you everybody for coming and watching. And I will be posting the look out for Leo videos on this channel because even though everybody said it'd be better to split the cop watching and my regular channel, it's like I really want a community page so I can post things. So why should I split myself? So everybody, thank you for coming in. I will see you next Monday. And I'm going to go relax and drink something to soothe my throat. Thank you. See you all later. Bye.